So our project was on Pytcher, which is going to be the first portable pitch player. Why we chose this project is to explore the different input and output options of the phone. So this time we're trying to mesh together different things in creative ways. So for our project, we use as an input the gyroscope sensor, and we melded that with a speaker to produce an instrument that can play different tones based on the tilt of your phone.
Yeah, okay, so how we split up this project, I did mostly the UI stuff, a lot of setting up the splash screen, the different activities, and getting the buttons all aligned and constrained. And Daddy did a lot of the accelerometer stuff, computing the angles, and seeing where what tones need to be played at different orientations of the phone. And we both worked together to tackle a really large problem, which was how do we get in real time the sound to play back really smoothly. And so we're going to do a quick demo right now because concepts might be a little hard to understand.
Okay, so here we have the app. As you can see, it tells the different pitch depending on the note, and playing it increases the pitch and decreases it, and scale lock makes it set at certain half-step intervals between the things. So let me play a little song. Yes. Okay. So our main problem.
You can just show the splash screen real quick.
Okay.
Sure.
You can.
We also made a splash screen. And so, and after we show that, we'll talk about the smooth mode. Oh.
Did already? Okay.
It's all right.
Try again.
All right. Okay. There's that. So. The really big problem we had was playing back the audio smoothly because the phone had to not only update the frequency, with extremely low latency, but play that back smoothly. And one of the big problems we had was this constant popping sound. Mm-hmm. And so
we had a lot of hypotheses on what could cause this. So first of all, we thought it might have been underflowing the buffer, so it wasn't pushing audio into the buffer fast enough. Otherwise, we thought it might have been too slow, so when it repeated, it didn't. There was a pause between playing, which would cause that popping noise.
And then we had, we didn't know whether to use, certain built-in Android libraries, or something called Android Audio Track or something else. There's like an Android Media Player, and all these had different forms and stuff. And Stack Overflow was cryptic as ever.
Yes.
But it eventually helped us. And so, more technically, the way we got the sound to play was we generated PCM or pulse modulation data, which is basically just getting a bunch of numbers that went together and make a sort of sine wave function. But eventually, after much trial and error, we found that the error came from gaps in the sine wave.
Yes. So our solution was because it wasn't resetting it back at 0. The speaker had to jump from a certain pitch back to 0, which causes that instant pop sound. So what we had to do instead was change the buffer size dynamically based on the frequency. So depending on the frequency, we would change the buffer size so that whenever a new buffer size is there, it always resets near or at 0.
Yeah. And then some things we would have done if we had more time. We had a partially working, record and playback system where, after you're done recording a song, you could play it back. There were some issues with that, so we took that out, before the final deployment. And some other things we wanted to do.
We also had different settings and preferences that we wanted to add, so perhaps adding scales and specific degrees other than just the chromatic scale. Finally, we were thinking of adding volume to add an extra layer of expression. So maybe like blowing into the microphone to change the volume. But we
Yeah.
encountered problems with that because microphone would pick up on the volume. So.
Not only that, just working in such a high-level language like Java and trying to do this very low latency thing proved to be pretty challenging.
Yes.
And so we only have so many clock cycles to get everything done. So yeah, and it was Pytcher.